Everybody, welcome back to another episode of Kiki Loves Nigeria. Hey, on this episode of Kiki Loves Nigeria, as promised, I'm going to present you with the receipts that Oral Gray explains his relationship with Mark and how he explains that he is not a scammer. Also, I am going to produce your receipts, your responses to Mr. Gray, reiterating that he is indeed a scammer and that he did know about what was going on. And even if he says he didn't know, when he suspected it, they felt like the victims who are on here, and this is going by what they wrote me, they feel like he should have told them. Soon as he suspected that Mark was not right, they felt like he shouldn't have held that information. He should have shared that information with them. They also feel like he did some things after he found out about Mark being a scammer and after he broke off with Mark that they consider a little suspect and scammerish, if that's even a word. So we're going to start this tonight. I'm going to start off with this email after the show. This is an email that I received. Shalom, Kiki. I understand you wanting to believe Oral Gray's position, but he's a scammer right along with Mark. All of a sudden, after almost 2 years later, he produces these conversations with such intricate details. Well, after he came back from Africa, he was still partners with Mark for at least a month. Then they had a quarrel of sorts. If he was such a stand-up guy, why didn't he tell us, the investors, of the uneasiness that he felt as soon as he returned from Africa? Why didn't he tell us that he suspected Mark of scamming? He wanted more money and Mark didn't give it to him, so that's when the fallout happened. After Mark and Oral's little spat, Oral created his own chat with the investors, bad-mouthing Mark, and he never mentioned about the conversation that you produced on your live. After Earl created his own chat with the investors, he never mentioned the land in Mwanza or Mark again. Instead, he proceeded to tell us of 50 acres of land right at the base of Mount Kilimanjaro, and how if the 7 of us would invest $7,000 apiece, we would own some prime real estate. To show you how diabolical he was with it, he even brought on a board member of the courts to answer questions and to quell our fears of being scammed again. So yes, after all we had just been through, he thought it a good idea to attempt to scam us again, but none of us fell for it. He is a scammer, and I will not rest until these scammers are put to shame on a national level. Again, thank you, Kiki, for all you do. Be blessed and stay prayed up. Wow, wow, wow. And then I received this video.
For sale. Over here, you have Kilimanjaro, Mount Kilimanjaro. It's buried beneath those clouds, believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen. So you'd wake up to that. And then on the opposite side, you have Mount Nauru over here, it is an amazing view, brothers and sisters, to wake up to this. And all this property here is what we're looking to acquire. Some of this, not all of it. This property. And as you can hear, the highway is right down there, so you can pretty much walk to the highway and it's a paved road. So we're looking to get a good price for this land here. It's government-owned land. So we're going to talk to the people at the Chamber of Commerce for them to get us a good price on this land. Enough acres for everyone to be a part of it and get going. So just wanted to give you folks an idea of what I've been trying to work on after what has occurred, unfortunately for us. But there is hope. Look to the mountains. Look to the mountains, brothers and sisters. It's right there. It's a beautiful view. This could be ours. Not all of it, some of it, but it's very peaceful over here. And it's just, I tell you, it's just mountains all around. You don't have the oceans, but you have mountains and some of the best drinking water in this area that comes right from Mount Kilimanjaro there. Stay tuned, brothers and sisters. You ladies and gentlemen are for sale. Over here, you have Kilimanjaro. Mount Kilimanjaro is buried beneath those clouds, believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen. So you'd wake up to that. And then on the opposite side, you have Mount Nauru over here. It is an amazing view, brothers and sisters, to wake up to this. And all this property here is what we're looking to acquire. Some of this, not all of it. This property. And as you can hear, the highway is right down there, so you can pretty much walk to the highway and it's
Also received this in my email. He sent that video to all the people who contacted him about Mark's Echo Village. Rick Fletcher said he received it too. I said in a previous email that Earl was kicked out of Quest to Unite Africa. He was collecting donations for this not-for-profit with his personal Cash App. Q2UA are a bunch of beggars preying on the community as well, but it looks like they kicked Oral out because they were not getting their cut. Letter from Mark that he sent to the investors, okay, where he's explaining that everybody's going to get a refund. Just give him 45 days and everybody will get their money back. Now this is the part I really wanted you guys to see. The part what he said about Oral Gray. He said, "We regret to inform you that Oral Gray, a former partner of our operation, is currently in possession of a portion of the funds from your purchase, and because of the sudden influx of disputes, the payment processor has put a temporary halt to certain functions of our account. With them, this unforeseen complications have delayed our ability to process refunds swiftly as we had initially intended." Isn't that convenient? "We understand how critical this issue is for you, and we are taking immediate and decisive, actions to rectify it. We want to assure you," he's assuring you that you're going to get a refund and give him up to 45 days. So this is another receipt that was sent to me that people are saying that Oral Gray is just as guilty as Mark. So this is Mark's letter that the people were telling us about. Then all of a sudden, I received this video in my email telling me to go to 32 minutes in the video to see what type of person Oral Gray really is. Well, that is according to Mark. Well, it's according to Mark.
Happy to see you're doing well. Are there any plots remaining for the Mwanza project? I will see. Unfortunately, the incident with Oral, again, some of you might not know who I'm talking about, but in the last few videos, we had a gentleman from the United States. He's a tall guy, and I'll put a video out maybe, and his name is Oral Gray, and he was supposed to be our sales manager. He comes here, and I pay for his ticket to come here, round trip, and he has 4 weeks to be here, and he spent 2 of them in Dar es Salaam. He's supposed to be in Mwanza, which is the other side of the country of Tanzania. He comes here and he spends all his time over there, being promiscuous. For a 50-year-old man, he was very promiscuous, and I kept getting calls about what he was doing because other people are involved in this project as well. And you're going to hotels and enjoying yourself, and the money I sent him to take a plane to come here, he spent on women and other things like that. And I'm not trying to put him out there, but it's the truth. Sadly, that's some of the people coming here. They don't actually want to be a part of anything. They don't want to build. They just want to have fun and benefit off of your back. And that's the sad part about it. And so he did that, and I had to tell him, hey man, you can't work for us anymore. We don't need that here. I don't want to have to beg you to come and do your job that you're paid to come here and do. And that's it. I said, head back to America, man. Now, I was I'd like to say reasonable with my request, because we agreed on it, but he didn't want to do it. He wanted to be paid for doing nothing and enjoying himself on vacation. And I couldn't do that because we're trying to build something, and we're trying to do something that a lot of people have failed at doing, and a lot of people are currently doing. And we need to actually focus on getting it done. That means sometimes you have to sacrifice. Sometimes you have to put that off until later, but he couldn't do that. And I don't think that's a person who has the community's best interest at heart. So I told him, hey man, can't have you anymore. He gets mad. He starts trying to convince clients that they shouldn't be a part of the project. And I said, okay man, do what you gotta do. But at the end of the day, bitter people are bitter for a reason. Because I get mad, but I don't become bitter. Not like that. Happy to see you're doing well.
But according to Oral, he says that he was recording a video, and that's why he wasn't around. He wasn't around because he couldn't be around, because he was making a video. He wasn't hanging out with women. He wasn't being a passport bro. He wasn't being any of that. He was just making a video. And then he sent me this video.
You get this wonderful drink. I don't know what they call it, but it's like they give you a drink, and then your room is just so well and eloquently put together, and the staff, everyone is so friendly and nice. So when you do come to Mwanza and visit, hotel. And from there, you have so many different things to do. I was able to get to the Park Sanini, and this park pretty much has animals just pretty much open right now. As I'm looking out, there are like animals there, from zebras to caribous and all these different animals. And this is just an amazing place that most people are not aware of. Also, the cost is a lot less than Dar es Salaam and a heck of a lot less than Zanzibar. So I want to invite you folks out to come in.
Then I received this on my WhatsApp Messenger app. Mark and Oral. Mark and Oral were friends, just like Biggie and Pac. Oral recruited people as you for Mark's project. Then one, in discussing now, Mark paid Oral commission for each client he recruited. Now this person writing this is an African person, okay? Tanzanian, I think. So that's why the English sounds like this. Also, Mark paid air ticket for Oral to Tanzania twice or thrice, 3 times. Last, Mark told me he had already gave Oral the total of over 16,000 USD as commission for the clients Oral recruited for him. When they went astray, Oral convinced all of the clients he recruited to demand their money from Mark, something which they did. At the end, the evil Oral destroyed Mark and left him stranded, frustrated, and broke. This message, along with the last message I read you, those are from Mark's group. You know how, they have their little WhatsApp groups and their little Facebook groups. Well, Merge has one also. So this guy talking is an African guy, Tanzanian, and I'm not sure his role with Merge, but he seems to have some kind of position there because he's the one speaking. Now this is dated March 25th, 2025. The conversation started on March 25th, and I have it all the way up to the 26th. Okay, so this is recent. This is new. So this person says, how I got to know Mark and Oral. My CEO of Tanzania Chamber of Commerce, Ireland, now East Africa Chamber of Commerce, Ireland, Europe, told me about Oral and Mark. I spent almost a week with Oral in far Kilimanjaro and Mwanza. It was despicable and very, very annoying. Earl was Shitting. Mark, whom by that time I didn't know, Oral turned to a passport bros to the level of shaming me. He preyed on innocent ladies, promising them life in America. Then I asked myself, is Guy an investor or a banker? It was during this time Mark was in conversation with Leah, my boss, to become a member so as he can get off the hook for the troubled waters he was in. And I almost fought with Oral in Kilimanjaro over the misuse of fellow black people by banging them and not even paying them. Wow. So that's all the responses that I have to Oral's interview when we presented his information and what he had to say. Now this is what the people are saying. This is what the people are saying. Oral is saying this isn't true. He's saying none of this is true. He's saying he doesn't know how you people are believing any of this. Well, you know Mark is a liar. How can you believe a liar? That is his position. How can you believe a liar, a proven liar at that. So, y'all, this story continues. I got more. There's a lot more. I'm going to see if Oral is still going to come on here on Saturday. Y'all been so rough on him. I don't even know if he's still going to come now. But he said he would come and answer you guys' questions. So let's hope he still comes. And I'll talk to y'all later. Until then, more to come.